Mississippi Farm Bureau. She is a chef. She is an author. She is a contributor at the Today Show. She has been on Food Network. She is a business owner, and she is currently in the process of kicking breast cancer's butt. She is Elizabeth Heiskell, and she is on your radio right now. Hello, Elizabeth.
Hey, Richard. How are you?
I'm great. You got mad at me last year because I did not call you leading up to the Super Bowl to talk about what we should be cooking. And so I called early this year. We've even got time to prepare. This is not last-minute stuff this year. So what are we doing?
I'm telling you what we're doing. So this is a new recipe that I've been working on. And it is solved. Like, I don't have a whole lot of problems in this world. But one of the things that aggravates me more than anything is when you make, like, a big, huge sheet pan nacho, and then, like, you end up and there are only about 6 chips that have everything good on them, and if you're not first to that sheet pan, you're going to lose out. And then you're just left with the chip with maybe a little piece of cheese hanging off. So what I've done is just reversed this whole thing and made a dip that you take your tortilla chips and you dip in rather than the whole nacho sheet pan deal. So super easy. You're going to use your crock pot because the last thing you want to be doing is cooking while that game is on, You want to have all this done and finished. So it's just Velveeta cheese, Rotel, shredded chicken, black beans, cheddar cheese, all the cheeses, and salsa, and then you just put it in the crock pot, let that cook, and then dip with your chips. And then every single chip is taken care of. And I'm obsessed. It really is fantastic.
So this is like Fafa Rotel.
Exactly. It's faux rotel. No, it's not. It is a nacho in a bowl is what it is, Richard.
Okay. Nacho in a bowl in the crock pot, and we can take care of the chips and the dip that way. I do have all right, so for 3 or 4 years now, I feel like charcuterie boards have been all the rage. Everywhere you go, there's a charcuterie board, and they're great. Have they run their course, and do we have a Super Bowl version of a charcuterie board that could be kind of fun?
No, they will never run their course. But I personally don't think that a Super Bowl party is a place for fancy cheese and meat. I just don't.
Okay.
I think that if anything, you may want to turn this into some sort of, I think you can hardly get any better than sausage and cheese. So, just that grilled sausage, the cheese, the pepperoncini peppers, and I'm okay with the cheese cube on tailgate. Tailgate, Super Bowl, cheese cubes are fine. Anywhere else, I'm not a fan. But, there's hardly anything better than that as far as I'm concerned. Put a little barbecue sauce on the side, and everybody's happy.
And here we are partial to Polk's sausage, the Cajun smoked sausage in particular, and so we would encourage you to include that on your sausage and cheese plate. I want to let Brian Haydad jump in because I know he's got questions as well.
I'm telling you, that is exactly what you need to be using.
First off, I just love Elizabeth so much because she just puts you in your place, Richard, so easily. It's just not even close.
Yeah, it's not the first time, by the way.
Yeah. Elizabeth, for me, when I think about the Super Bowl, wings is where my mind goes. That's where I'm always going. What would you suggest? Buffalo barbecue, kind of tired. You got anything else that's like interesting and exciting for wings?
I do, and I'm going to kind of walk you through it. But then the recipe is at Today's Show or todayfood.com, so you can go and pull this recipe. It's peanut butter and jelly wings, and they're unbelievable. And I know you're thinking, what the hell? She has lost her mind. That cancer has finally sent her over the edge. But I'm telling you, this is one of the best recipes. If you kind of like that, Thai satay flavor, with the nuttiness of the peanut butter, but then you've got that sweetness as well and a little bit of spice, this wing is going to be exactly what you want to do. So super easy. You're going to make up your sauce. You're going to brush the wings. And look, you can put them on the grill if you want, or if you want to just do them in the oven. The key is not to start basting them with this sauce until the wings really have done a good bit of cooking. You want to season those wings really well with salt and pepper. Then let's start them cooking, and then you start basting at the end. That way it's just going to caramelize and not burn.
Tell us again where you can get that recipe.
Are you with me?
No, we're with you.
I'm looking at the recipe right now at today.com.
Just making sure. just making sure.
Oh,
I thought
and
maybe
Richard
I
will
had
like this
stunned you
recipe.
into
It's got a little
silence.
bourbon in it too.
Yeah, I was worried I'd stunned you into silence. But I'm telling you,
No, I was just
trust me on
reading
this
along.
recipe. It's a really good one.
All right, so the hot ham and cheese sandwiches, that's always been a go-to for Jane at our house. Give us the best way.
There's no reason not. There's no reason not to, is what I'm telling you.
Okay.
Because for some reason, and I mean, it's, it's just an elevated ham sandwich. But let me tell you one thing. It is elevated in such a way that, that it stays, when you put it out, it stays good for a couple of hours, And anything that's going to be the Super Bowl, it's going to have to be able to sit out and still taste good, after 2 hours. But, yes, I do love that party ham sandwich. But you can do all kinds of fun things with that. I mean, don't just stop at the ham and the cheese, and then that sort of mustard sauce mixture. You could put bacon jam on this. You could put candied jalapenos on this. So think about what would make the best sandwich in the world, and then put it on the Hawaiian roll, then put it into your 9x13 pan, put the butter mixture over it, the melted butter, and then bake it off. So don't just get kind of stuck with that. I mean, I'm not saying the original recipe is lovely, but there's no reason you couldn't really amp that up. Maybe some fig jam if you wanted to be super fancy, and go from there.
I like it. Elizabeth, one of my favorite things that you do, and they've been a go-to for not Thanksgiving, for Valentine's Day happies, are the bacon-wrapped pretzels. You knew where I was going with that. Is there any way those can be made at home, or do we have to come buy them from you?
Well, I mean, I'm going to be honest. You absolutely can make them at home. And it's 3 ingredients, so there's no excuse not to. It's just bacon, brown sugar, and a breadstick, or you can use the pretzel rod. And you literally just wrap the bacon around it, roll it in brown sugar, and then bake them in the oven on a sheet pan with tinfoil. And this recipe is in What Can I Bring? And I believe it's at todayshow.com. But, it could not be any easier. It's just a matter, it takes a little time. That's the only thing. But you can make them a day ahead. So there's no excuse not to be having some bacon bites on Super Bowl Sunday. Now, the other thing is, though, is that if you miss it and if you didn't get them or you didn't make them, we are selling them for Valentine's Day this year at the Oxford Floral. And so don't worry, Richard, I got you covered. I went on and put you down for an order.
Thank you. I'll probably need more than one.
I'll take 2 dozen.
They are absolutely spectacular. You can go to Elizabeth's website, elizabethheiskell.com. Check out her cookbooks. If you do not have them, or the special person in your life doesn't have them, you can get Come On Over, What Can I Bring, the Southern Living Party Cookbook, or Somebody Stole the Cornbread from My Dressing. Not only do they have great recipes, they look really cool, too. And if you're really nice, she might even sign it for you.
No, absolutely, and we are going to have a bunch of tailgating, I keep saying tailgating, Super Bowl recipes on our Instagram, which is Elizabeth Heiskell Official, and so we'd love for you to follow us and check those out as well, because it's going to be a ton of fun. We're getting really excited about this.
All right, one more thing. We've done hearty, we've done appetizers. I can't help it. I have a sweet tooth. I need to know what we're doing for dessert.
God, it's so good. And this is that other thing, is that we want something easy, we want something fast, we want something that everybody's going to love, and who doesn't love a brownie? And this recipe is one of my favorites because it's just a boxed brownie recipe. I mean, a boxed brownie mix, and then you take Heath bars or any kind of a candy bar. So you make the brownie, then you press into it make the brownie mix. Put half of it in a 9x13 pan. Then top it with the candy bar of your choice, and then top that with the rest of the brownie mix and bake it. Doesn't sound like it would be that amazing. Let me tell you something. It is absolutely out of this world. Candy bar brownies are the thing, and everybody's going to love them.
Yeah, then we're probably going to drizzle a little caramel over the top, and there's probably going to be some vanilla ice cream that goes with it. And now you have just made my favorite dessert of all time. Yes, I'm on board.
You've got more than a sweet tooth. You've got a problem, Richard.
Well, it's probably not just that. Probably not just that. Elizabeth Heiskell. Again, her website, Elizabeth Heiskell. You can find her on